Every night, while most people are asleep, a strange visitor quietly moves through neighborhoods across America. It isn't fast, it isn't graceful, and to many people, it certainly isn't cute. In fact, if you've ever seen one wandering through your yard after dark, there's a good chance your first instinct was to chase it away. Many people think it's dirty. Some believe it's dangerous. Others assume it carries disease. But what if everything you've heard about this animal is completely wrong? What if the creature you've been shooing off your porch for years is actually helping protect your family every single night? Because the truth is far more surprising than most people realize. This unusual animal can eliminate thousands of disease-carrying ticks. It has an incredible resistance to deadly snake venom, and scientists are studying its biology in hopes of developing discoveries that could one day save human lives. So before you judge this strange nighttime visitor by its appearance, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at the Virginia opossum the same way again. Before we talk about the hero of this story, we need to talk about the real villain: ticks. Most people think of ticks as nothing more than an annoying pest you might pick up after a hike. But the truth is much more serious. Ticks are among the most dangerous disease carriers in North America. They can spread Lyme disease, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Anaplasmosis, Babesiosis, and several other illnesses that can have long-lasting effects on the human body. What makes ticks especially dangerous is how easy they are to miss. They're tiny, quiet, patient. They hide in tall grass, leaf litter, garden beds, and shady corners of your yard. They can even be waiting in the exact places where your children play, your pets explore, or your family relaxes outdoors. And in many cases, people don't even realize they've been bitten until symptoms begin to appear days or weeks later. Personally, I find that fact more unsettling than almost any large predator. Most people spend more time worrying about bears, snakes, or coyotes. Yet the creature most likely to harm them may be smaller than a grain of rice. Every year, hundreds of thousands of people are affected by tick-borne diseases, and the numbers continue to rise. So here's the question: if ticks are hiding in our yards, our gardens, and the spaces around our homes, who is actually fighting them? The answer, surprisingly, is the Virginia opossum. For years, scientists studying tick populations noticed something unusual. Certain areas consistently had far fewer ticks than expected. When researchers looked closer, one animal kept appearing in those environments again and again: the opossum. Naturally, they wanted to know why. What they discovered was astonishing. A single Virginia opossum can eliminate up to 5,000 ticks in just 1 week. Think about that for a moment. 5,000. Not in a year, not in a season, in a single week. The secret lies in the opossum's grooming habits. Despite their messy appearance, opossums are actually meticulous cleaners. Much like cats, they spend a large portion of their time grooming themselves, carefully licking and cleaning every part of their bodies. When ticks attach to an opossum, they rarely survive for long. The opossum finds them, removes them, and eats them. Because opossums travel through gardens, wooded edges, leaf piles, and grassy areas where ticks commonly wait for a host, they act like a natural vacuum moving through the landscape every night. Imagine removing 5,000 disease-carrying parasites from your yard every week without lifting a finger. That's exactly what a single opossum may be doing while you sleep. And here's the part I find fascinating. If a company offered this service, homeowners would probably pay hundreds of dollars a year for it. Yet this animal performs the job completely free of charge, asking for nothing in return except a little space to pass through. Suddenly, that strange visitor wandering across your yard doesn't seem like a pest anymore. It starts to look more like a valuable ally. But as impressive as this tick-eating superpower is, it isn't even the most surprising thing about the Virginia opossum. In fact, what we're about to discover next may completely change everything you thought you knew about this animal. By now, it's probably becoming clear that opossums aren't the villains many people imagine them to be. But their reputation is built on a collection of myths that have followed them for generations. Let's clear up the 4 biggest ones. Myth number 1. Opossums carry rabies. This is probably the most common belief, and one of the least accurate. Because opossums have a naturally low body temperature, the rabies virus struggles to survive inside their bodies. While it's not impossible, documented cases are extremely rare. In fact, an opossum is one of the least likely wild animals you'll encounter to be carrying rabies. Myth number 2. They're aggressive. If you've ever seen an opossum hiss, bare its teeth, or open its mouth wide, it can certainly look threatening. But that behavior isn't aggression. It's fear. Opossums would much rather avoid conflict than start one. When they feel cornered, they're simply trying to convince predators to leave them alone. Myth number 3. Playing dead is fake. Many people assume opossums are putting on an act when they play possum. The truth is even stranger. It's actually an involuntary biological response triggered by extreme stress. The animal enters a catatonic state and may remain motionless for minutes or even hours. It's not pretending. Its body is reacting automatically to danger. Myth number 4. They're dirty pests. Ironically, opossums spend a surprising amount of time grooming themselves. They're also valuable members of nature's cleanup crew. They eat slugs, beetles, ticks, snails, and other small pests that many homeowners actively try to eliminate. Sometimes I think the possum suffers from a public relations problem more than anything else. If it looked a little cuter, people would probably celebrate it instead of fearing it. But as misunderstood as opossums are, there's one thing that makes them truly unique among North American mammals. And that's where the story gets even more fascinating. There's another reason the Virginia opossum is so remarkable, and it has nothing to do with ticks. The opossum is the only marsupial native to North America. That means it's more closely related to kangaroos and koalas than to most of the mammals sharing your backyard. And its story begins in a truly extraordinary way. When baby opossums are born, they are incredibly tiny, about the size of a honeybee. They are blind, hairless, and barely developed. Yet somehow, guided entirely by instinct, they make an incredible journey. Moments after birth, they crawl through their mother's fur and into her pouch, where they continue developing in safety for the next several weeks. When they're finally ready to leave the pouch, their adventure isn't over. For months, the young opossums ride on their mother's back as she moves through forests, fields, and neighborhoods under the cover of darkness. Sometimes a single mother can be seen carrying a whole family of babies, clinging tightly to her fur. It's hard to look at a mother carrying her babies across the night and still think of this animal as a nuisance. In many ways, the opossum is a living reminder of an ancient world, a survivor whose ancestors have existed for millions of years. But as fascinating as that is, what scientists discovered next takes this story from interesting to almost unbelievable. Because hidden inside the opossum's blood may be one of nature's most extraordinary secrets. As remarkable as the Virginia opossum already seems, we've saved the most incredible discovery for last. Scientists have found that opossums possess a remarkable resistance to the venom of several dangerous North American snakes, including rattlesnakes, and copperheads, and cottonmouths. Think about that for a moment. The same venom capable of seriously injuring a dog, hospitalizing a human, or killing many small animals can often have far less effect on an opossum. Naturally, researchers wanted to know why. What they discovered was something extraordinary. Inside the opossum's blood is a special peptide known as LTNF, short for lethal toxin neutralizing factor. This naturally occurring compound appears capable of neutralizing toxins found in snake venom before they can cause significant damage. That discovery immediately captured the attention of scientists. Today, researchers continue studying LTNF and its potential applications. The hope is that understanding how this peptide works could one day contribute to more effective antivenoms and new medical treatments for venomous bites. Imagine discovering that one of nature's most overlooked animals may help solve a problem that has challenged medicine for generations. And that's what makes this story so fascinating. The animal many people dismiss as ugly, dirty, or worthless may actually carry biological secrets that could benefit human health in ways we're only beginning to understand. Suddenly, the opossum is no longer just a backyard visitor. It's a living scientific mystery, and perhaps the greatest reminder that nature still holds countless discoveries waiting to be uncovered. In many ways, this story isn't just about opossums. It's about how easily we judge things by appearance. The Virginia opossum doesn't look impressive. It isn't sleek like a fox, majestic like a deer, or beloved like a dog. It moves awkwardly, has a face many people find unattractive, and has spent generations carrying a reputation it never deserved. Yet behind that appearance is an animal that helps control pests, reduces tick populations, supports healthy ecosystems, and may even hold clues that could benefit future medicine. And it makes you wonder, how many things in life do we ignore simply because they don't look impressive at first glance? Nature is full of creatures that are misunderstood, feared, or dismissed before we take the time to understand them. The opossum may be one of the best examples of that. What began as a strange visitor in the dark turns out to be a quiet protector working behind the scenes every night. Perhaps that's the bigger lesson here. Sometimes the most valuable things aren't the loudest, prettiest, or most obvious. Sometimes they're the ones we overlook. And the Virginia opossum has become a perfect symbol of how easy it is to mistake appearance for reality. So the next time you spot a Virginia opossum quietly moving through your yard after dark, don't rush to chase it away. Don't assume it's dangerous. And don't judge it by its appearance. Instead, take a moment to watch. You might be looking at an animal that's helping reduce tick populations, cleaning up unwanted pests, and carrying biological secrets that scientists are still trying to understand. Nature often works in ways we never notice, and the opossum is a perfect example of that. Now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever seen an opossum in your yard? Did you used to be afraid of them? Or have you ever chased one away? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might see possums a little differently after today. The next time a possum walks quietly through your yard, remember, you're not looking at a pest. You're looking at one of nature's most misunderstood protectors.